Matt, do you know what it is, man?
What?
You know what it is? It is September. You know
It
what
is
that
September.
means?
Football season?
Football season. Week 1. Let's go. And you know what else football season means?
What?
It means winning money. So let's look at let's look at these lines for week 1, because honestly, they're pretty good.
They're
pretty
good?
I'm not gonna lie. Especially the away teams. I'm calling this away team frenzy, because I've got 5 straight bets this week, all away teams to cover their spread. We're gonna start at the top with the Steelers at the Bills, and no one's gonna like this one because nobody likes the Steelers right now. The narrative for the Steelers is the O-line is trash, Big Ben is washed, they can't play football, and everybody loves the Bills, man.
Big Ben's been playing since I was in high school.
Big Ben's been playing since you were in high school, since longer than that, since you were a toddler.
Yeah.
Dude's been playing a long time. Yeah.
How long has he been playing for?
I don't know, man. 19 years, something like that.
That's fucking
forever. He's old. They did not look too good at the end of the year last year, but the Steelers did win 11 games to start the season, and Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season. Never. 19 years as a head coach. Worst he's ever done is 8-8. The dude is coming to win every week. The Steelers are coming to win every week. One of the best rosters in the league, top to bottom, especially defensively. One of the best receiving cores. A new, young, ready to go running back. And Big Ben is still a Hall of Fame quarterback, and that counts for something, even if he's old and washed up. Drew Brees still won 10, 11 games every year the last couple of years, and he couldn't finish in the playoffs like we saw with Ben last year. Yes, the Bills are a good team, probably top 5, but the Steelers are a top 12 team, and the line is 6.5 points. So you're telling me that the Steelers are going to lose by almost a touchdown to the Bills? That's just nonsensical. Especially considering the Steelers are 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games played in September, and they're 10-3 against the spread in their last 13 games against Buffalo. Now, it's not to say Buffalo is bad. Buffalo's 7-0 straight up in their last 7 home games. They're also 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 games against September. So the trends kind of paint the picture that both these teams are good, which leads me to believe that this isn't going to be a one-sided game or a blowout. This is going to be a tight contest that the Bills will probably win, but again, not by more than a touchdown. If you want to feel safe, buy the point, make it 7.5, but Steelers plus 7.5 to cover that line, but lose the game is the right bet. Now, building on that, another one that I love is the Packers at the Saints. So now, the Saints typically get a huge home field advantage playing at the Dome in the Bayou, but they're not playing at the Dome week 1. They got relocated to Jacksonville because of the fallout from the hurricane.
Oh,
so
really?
home field advantage, yeah. So they're not playing in New Orleans this week.
Really?
They are
That's
relocated.
crazy.
Yeah, unbelievable. And no Drew Brees, a ton of offseason overhaul, a lot of coaching staff losses. There's reason to believe that the Saints are not what they used to be. And they're giving 4.5 points to the Packers at home. Now, the Packers, being on the road, 4.5 point favorites, that's just not enough points. The Packers are a top 3 team in football with Aaron Rodgers, and they're going to come in and just dominate the Jameis Winston-led Saints with no Michael Thomas, no significant weapons. Yeah, we all love Marquez Callaway, but Jair Alexander is going to smother him, and Alvin Kamara is not enough to make up for it, and the defense isn't what it was. So, Jameis Winston, sure, he probably got better, but let's not forget that in 2019, he led the Buccaneers to a 7-9 record. A Buccaneers team that, with a very similar roster the following year, won a Super Bowl with Tom Brady. Jameis Winston, probably a fine dude, not going to lead your team to a lot of wins. Definitely not going to give Aaron Rodgers a run for his money at a 4.5 point spread. Packers minus 4.5, book it. It's easy. Now, line number 3, Ravens at the Raiders. For, again, 4.5 points, which this one just makes no sense to me. Plain and simple, the Ravens are a top 6, top 7 team in football, and the Raiders are arguably one of the worst teams in football. If the Steelers only get 6.5 points at the Bills, how on earth are you going to say the Ravens only get 4.5 points at the Raiders? That's not even close. That's one of the worst lines I've ever seen. You should be playing the Ravens all day to come in and slowly but surely dominate the game. They're not going to be winning 21-0 at the end of the first quarter, but they'll finish the game with well more than 4.5 points on top of the Raiders, who have just slowly been whiffing on year after year of just bad draft picks, bad free agent moves, bad trades. It's a roster devoid of talent against one of the most stacked rosters in football. A week 1 blowout. Just don't even think twice. Do it. Speaking of uneven matchups, we got the Denver Broncos going on the road, actually coming to us here in New York, playing the Giants. And listen, man, I'm all for homerism. Go Giants, go Jets, go New York football, but they suck at football. And the team is coming in banged up. You got Kenny Galladay off a hamstring, Saquon Barkley revamping from an ACL. The offensive line is just not very good. And I like this team. I really want them to be better. I want to see Daniel Jones play better. But 2.5 points, the Broncos week 1 is, again, it's just not enough points. The Broncos get a bad rap because nobody likes the quarterback. But if you look at every position but quarterback, the Broncos have one of the best rosters in football. They have a stacked defense topped off with Von Miller, Bradley Chubb. You got Kyle Fuller, who they bought in this offseason. They drafted Patrick Surtain. This defense is ready to go. They're going to smother the Giants in week 1. And you're telling me I get less than a field goal? You're basically saying the Broncos are going to win straight up, which they should win straight up. They have the better team at almost every position. And I like Teddy Bridgewater to manage this team. Vic Fangio is a great coach. It's the better team. Minus 2.5 points is a very easy bet to take for a Broncos team that should win outright, no problem. And then the last one, this one's not as confident as the others, but still a very good bet when you look at the trends, is we have the Minnesota Vikings traveling on the road to the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, the Vikings arguably got better in the offseason, or at least they didn't get worse, and this is a team that we very much know what to expect from them year in, year out. They're going to be slightly above 500, play some good games, play some sloppy games. Now, the Bengals, this is a team that's just been bad for a long time, and I know we like Joe Burrow, and I know we like Jamar Chase and the weapons, and they're fun for fantasy, but in a real football standpoint, this is a defense that has very little talent, that just churned its roster for no reason this offseason, letting Carl Lawson go to bring in Hendrickson, just a bunch of lateral moves that don't accomplish anything except for to mess up your team chemistry. Zach Taylor hasn't proven himself as a coach, and Joe Burrow may start the season slow, coming off dual knee injuries. He did his ACL and MCL. That's a tough injury to recover from and be yourself running out of the gate. Now, again, similar to the Broncos, it's a 3-point line. So you're telling me I just need the Vikings to win by a field goal? And this is a Vikings team that, under Mike Zimmer, the last 5 years, their last 5 week 1 games, they're 4-1 against the spread. Tells me that Zimmer knows how to prep, comes into week 1 ready to play football. Under Zach Taylor, the Bengals in the last 2 years are 0-6-1, straight up in games in September. Zach Taylor has not won a game in September. So it just tells me that this is a mismatch in terms of game planning, and the Vikings coming in ready to show everybody what we've known for the last 5 years, that the Bengals are not very good at football. So you guys got it, man. 5 away bets, 5 away teams, all straight bets. Just line them up. You want to put them together in a parlay or a teaser? Sure, I don't advise sucker bets, but for straight bets, those are 5 good ones. Book it. Enjoy the winnings. It's powered by the Early Down Grinder and Sneaky Bag. And we'll be back at you next week with more winners.